it looks like Jen Rosati and Dawn Staley and all those folks that Cheryl Reeve.
When the most talked about athlete in women's basketball didn't make the Olympic team, the backlash wasn't just fierce, it was transformational.
I'd rather watch paint dry. I'd rather watch dirt.
Caitlin Clark's exclusion from the 2024 U.S. Women's Olympic basketball team didn't just spark outrage. It triggered a complete restructuring of USA Basketball's leadership.
So bound by tribalism that they just couldn't look past their own nose, and at the end of the day,
the result? A new vision, a new leader in Sue Bird, and a fresh opportunity for Clark to become the face of the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. This wasn't just about a missed roster spot. It was about a generational talent getting shut out, and what that says about the state of women's basketball in America. The snub that shocked the nation. Clark had everything going for her. After becoming the NCAA's all-time leading scorer and revolutionizing the game with deep threes and dazzling assists, she entered the WNBA as the most hyped rookie in history. Her arrival instantly changed the league. Ticket prices for Indiana Fever games exploded, merchandise flew off shelves, and television ratings broke records. So when Team USA announced its Olympic roster without her name, basketball fans across the globe were stunned. Outrage spread fast. Fans, journalists, even basketball legends were left questioning the decision.
Again, everybody's, out together. They don't want to grow the game.
Lisa Leslie called it a disaster. Stephen A. Smith said the committee had actively harmed the sport. Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, said outright, "I wouldn't have left Caitlin Clark off the team."
This is about what I will personally label.
Many believed this wasn't just a questionable basketball decision, it was a marketing catastrophe. Clark wasn't just another player. She was a once-in-a-generation opportunity to grow the game globally. USA Basketball's old guard fails the moment. The reasoning behind Clark's omission? According to Selection Committee Chair Jen Rosati, it was purely based on basketball criteria. She cited international experience, familiarity with the Team USA system, and team chemistry. But those arguments didn't hold up. Clark had already won 2 gold medals with Team USA at the U19 level. She was dominating professionally. Her offensive firepower, court vision, and competitive fire were unmatched among rookies. And yet, the committee chose veterans that better fit head coach Cheryl Reeve's preferred style. Defense-heavy, system-first basketball.
losing the gold medal game to France, the U.S. women's team was caught up in controversy.
The problem? That style nearly cost the team the gold. In a nail-biter against France, Team USA barely escaped with a 67-66 win in a game they were expected to dominate. The offense looked predictable, lacking creativity and firepower, precisely what Clark could have provided. The team struggled to generate threes and consistent ball movement, especially when defenses collapsed on Aya Wilson or Breanna Stewart. Clark could have changed that. Cheryl Reeve's influence and the backlash. Reeve, head coach of the Minnesota Lynx and the Olympic team, claimed she had little say in the selection process. But Rosati revealed that the roster was built specifically to fit Reeve's coaching style. So when Reeve told the press, "I had no power," it felt like an evasion of responsibility. And it didn't help that she reacted with hostility when asked about Clark. When questioned about Clark's future with Team USA, Reeve snapped, "Why the hell would I answer a national team question?" She was literally wearing Lynx gear during the interview, sending the message that she wanted no part of the criticism.
Caitlin Clark, based on skill, based on how she was performing, deserved to be on that team.
Fans weren't buying it. The WNBA's most popular rookie, leading her team and league in multiple categories, was left off the Olympic roster while veterans who were injured or underperforming made the cut. It was a PR disaster and a basketball misstep. Clark's response? Dominate. Most athletes would have lashed out on social media or sulked through the season. Not Caitlin Clark. Instead, she elevated her game to another level. Her averages jumped from 15.6 points and 6.3 assists per game to nearly 23 points and 9.5 assists. She broke a WNBA rookie record with 19 assists in one game. She didn't just silence her critics.
Sue Bird's been a vocal supporter of Caitlin Clark.
She embarrassed them. Clark's ability to respond with poise, professionalism, and performance made the decision to leave her off the roster look even worse in hindsight. Analysts said it outright. If Clark had been on that Olympic team, she could have been the difference between a narrow win and a dominant showing. System failure, USA basketball exposed. This wasn't just about one bad decision. Clark's exclusion exposed a deeply flawed system that had become resistant to change. The selection process, run by committee, built around loyalty, and focused on experience over innovation, no longer fit the modern game. For too long, USA basketball had operated like it was still 2004, when women's basketball was fighting for attention. But Caitlin Clark had already proven the sport could command attention. The system failed to adapt. The backlash was overwhelming. Social media exploded. Analysts called for change. And eventually, USA basketball listened. The rebirth. Sue Bird takes control. Enter Sue Bird, a 5-time Olympic gold medalist, 4-time WNBA champion, and globally respected icon. Bird was tapped to lead a new era of USA basketball. She's now the managing director of the women's national team, with full control over roster selection and coaching staff, mirroring the structure of the men's program under Grant Hill.
But Sue Bird's been a vocal supporter of Caitlin Clark. The fact is, while everybody was coming down on Caitlin Clark last year, so many...
No more vague committees. No more finger-pointing. From now on, Bird decides. This move wasn't just about optics. Bird is one of the few people with credibility across every level of the sport. She understands team chemistry and talent, but she also understands brand. She knows that players like Caitlin Clark aren't just valuable, they're essential to growing the game. Why Bird is the right leader for this era. Bird has been an outspoken supporter of Clark. She once said, "Clark's long-distance threes are the antidote to dunking." She understands that Clark brings not only skill, but excitement, controversy, and visibility, the ingredients of superstardom.
Have been on Team USA?
I would have put Caitlin Clark on Team USA, absolutely.
She also knows the impact of star power on the Olympic stage. The Olympics aren't just about winning, they're about global exposure. Casual fans tune in. New stars are born. And Clark is the perfect ambassador for women's basketball in that spotlight. Bird's new role brings accountability, vision, and a deep connection to the current generation of players. Her hiring marks a bold pivot from politics to performance, from tradition to transformation. 2028, Clark's moment will come. The 2024 Olympics may have been a missed opportunity, but the 2028 Games in Los Angeles are shaping up to be the perfect stage for Caitlin Clark's Olympic debut. She'll be 26 years old, right in her basketball prime. Her experience will match her talent. She'll be more efficient, more composed, and even more marketable. Add in the LA spotlight, Hollywood media, and global attention, and you have the ultimate redemption arc. And she won't be alone. Angel Reese, Paige Buchers, and other emerging stars could join her on a roster that redefines what women's basketball looks like on the world stage. With Sue Bird at the helm, it's not just likely, it's inevitable. The big picture, more than a roster spot. This story was never just about Caitlin Clark. It's about a sport at a crossroads. For years, women's basketball has fought for attention, respect, and investment. And now, thanks to a new generation of stars, it finally has momentum. But momentum only works if it's harnessed correctly. The old guard of USA basketball wasn't ready for this moment. Sue Bird is. And Clark? She's more than ready. Sometimes the biggest mistakes lead to the biggest breakthroughs. Caitlin Clark's Olympic snub lit a fire under the sport. It exposed a flawed system and forced USA basketball to modernize. With Sue Bird now steering the ship, and with Clark playing at an elite level, the future has never looked brighter. By the time the 2028 Olympics roll around, the narrative won't be about who got left off the team. It'll be about the superstar who led them to gold. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates.